Hi, I'm Nick Muggs, and this is All Things White Sox. This is the 12th episode, and I am so glad you can join me. This podcast will talk everything White Sox, from in to out of season content. I have an Instagram, at All Things White Sox, so go give me a follow and DM me, letting me know you came from the podcast. I'll be posting 3 to 4 times a week over there, and even more when breaking news and games are happening. Today, we will be talking about all things MLB, opening day finally being here, an unfortunate injury for the Sox, the opening day roster, and the first 2 games of the season and how they went. So to start off, we have all things MLB. I am recording this on the night of Saturday after the White Sox second game. So for all things MLB, I'm just going to cover opening day in general. Thursday, April 1st was opening day. Every single team played besides 4, in which the Red Sox and Orioles game got canceled due to weather, and the Nationals and Mets game got canceled due to COVID issues with the Nationals, and as of right now, the whole series is canceled, so that is an unfortunate start for them. The Red Sox and Orioles did play today, though, as they made it up, but opening day is finally here. No more spring training. We're finally here. The 162-game marathon is underway, and it was a great opening day. To start off, we got the first home run of the season, and it was exciting. Miguel Cabrera, the future Hall of Famer, hit an opposite field homer in the early ball game against Shane Bieber, the reigning AL Cy Young, to put the Tigers up. And not only that, it was snowing out. The ball game took place in Detroit, and not only was it just snowing, it looked like a blizzard out there. You could barely see. In fact, Miguel Cabrera actually slid into second base because he did not think he hit a home run because he couldn't see the ball. So Miggy hits a homer. A great pitching performance out in Tampa as Tampa took the 1-0 win. Tyler Glasnow, the opening day starter, went 6 innings, allowing 1 hit, no walks, and 6 Ks. Big expectations from him. He is my AL Cy Young pick as well. Or maybe even Giolito, but I went Glasnow, just not to show homerism. But a big start to the season for him. Kind of a cool moment. Pablo Sandoval, who I would bet a lot of people don't even know is still in the league. He made the opening day roster with the Atlanta Braves, and with the Braves down 2-0, and I think the 7th Aaron Nola was dealing for the Phils, he came in and hit a pinch hit 2-run bomb, an absolute moonshot to tie the game at 2. Kind of a funny moment. Alex Colomé, the former White Sox closer who had a great 2 years with the Sox, he went and signed with the Twins, 1 year, $6 million. The Twins opened in Milwaukee against the Brewers. Twins were up 5-2, I believe, in the 9th, and Colomé gave up 3 runs to blow the game and tie it. So that is just unfortunate for them. Still like Colomé, though, as he was great for the Sox. Some crazy offense out in Kansas City. The Rangers and Royals both batted around and scored 5 runs apiece in the first inning. The Royals ended up winning 14-10 opening day. Interesting start there. And then we had walk-offs. The Mariners had a walk-off walk in extras. Arcia hit an infield single to walk-off Colomé and the Twins. And Gene Segura with a walk-off single for the Phillies to give them the 3-2 lead to erase the Pablo Sandoval game-tying home run. So those are just some of the storylines that I liked from opening day. But I think the main storyline just has to be that baseball is back and day 1 is in the books. And man, it feels good to be back. It feels good to have a full season this year and not a 60 game. Feels good to be opening up in April and not in June. Or was it July? I don't really even remember. But I'm just glad that the shortened COVID season is behind us and we are now back to normal. We got fans in the stands at most parks, and it is fun, and baseball is looking good. So I am very excited for that. So yeah, opening day 2021. So now we will be moving on to White Sox stuff, and we are going to start out with some more negative and sad news after the opening day. And this obviously took place before opening day, but it took place after the last episode. So I've not been able to cover it, and it is the Eloy Jimenez injury. As I'm sure everyone knows, Eloy Jimenez tore his pectoral muscle, and he is believed to be out 5 to 6 months. There was a second opinion which said 4 to 5 months. So anywhere in between that 4 to 6 month period is what we're looking at. In case you don't know, he during a spring training game, there was a fly ball. He was playing left field. The ball was nowhere close. It was well over. He had zero chance at robbing it. He jumped up to rob it anyways, and he hung his arm over the fence and dangled there on the fence and then jumped down. And that is how he tore it. So obviously Eloy has injured himself before playing defense, and we know he's not a great defender. So, and the reason he's hurt himself before is because he tries to rob home runs. He tries to just go for it, and it has not worked out for him as he is a big guy and he ends up crashing really hard. So, but I'm not going to talk about his defensive abilities. Obviously, this does hurt the team as he was one of the best hitters on this team and a great offensive threat. So, it is going to be very hard to replace Eloy in the lineup. Obviously, not in the field, but in the lineup, it will be very hard to replace him. But again, I hope the best for Eloy. I hope quick recovery and he can come back hopefully in September when the Sox are chasing down a division and he comes in and mashes and then keeps mashing into the playoffs in the World Series. But yeah, so obviously your two outfielders, since Engel is out for about 2 to 4 weeks, I'd imagine once Engel comes back, it's going to be Engel and Eaton and right and left. But for now, Billy Hamilton, Larry Garcia can both play left field. And as soon as Eloy got injured, the talks of Vaughn playing left field. And sure enough, the day after in spring training, he did play out there. So he's never played left field. He's also not even a very good defensive first baseman. So rookie Andrew Vaughn may be thrown into left field for a little bit this year. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, it's going to be hard to replace Eloy, but hopefully we see him at the end of the year. So now we're going to go over the Sox opening day roster as yeah, I mean, there are some injuries, so this isn't their best 26-man roster, but it's the best with what they got. So the 5 starting pitchers were very well. I think anyone could have predicted this. Giolito, Rodon, Cease, Lynn, and Keiko all made it. All those 5 were predicted to make it, and they did. And Giolito throws the first game, Keiko the second, Lynn the third, Cease the fourth, and Rodon the fifth. That has already been announced by Tony La Russa. So yeah, ready to see those guys throw and lead this staff to one of the top in the American League. The bullpen, again, I think all the top guys were known and they made it. You have Hendricks, Hoyer, Foster, Marshall, Kopech, Crochet, and Bummer. And then because Jimmy Cordero is out for the year with Tommy John and Jace Fry, I believe, is out for the first month, maybe a little more. Jose Ruiz, the righty, hard-throwing righty, did make the team, so we'll see if he can prove it. I mean, again, he kind of is going to be, I'm guessing, like their throwaway inning type guy when they're losing by a lot, winning by a lot, just needs someone to cover innings. He's definitely not a big part of this bullpen, but we'll see what he can do as he has shown flashes. But we'll see. I'm assuming once Fry comes back, he will take over for Ruiz. Then the catching situation, obviously Grandal is making team. Everyone knew that, but it was the backup catcher situation, and I predicted from the start Lucroy was a lock to make the team. Well, sure enough, no. Zach Collins and Yerman Mercedes both make the opening day roster, and the Sox released Jonathan Lucroy as he asked for a release when he did not make the team. So Collins and Mercedes definitely will both get DHing at bats as well as catching opportunities. So yeah, we'll see what these guys can do. Then in the infield, Andrew Vaughn does make the opening day roster. I think everyone saw this coming. especially then after the Eloy injury. But he does make it. They do not care about the service time. So not only will he be, I think, one of their main DHs, but now with Eloy out, you're going to be seeing a lot of him in left field, I think. So we'll see how that how that goes. I guess he can't be much worse of a defender than Eloy, and I'm excited to see him swing the twig for the Sox. And yeah, good rookie season for him. Then a couple other guys, Jake Lamb and Billy Hamilton, both make the team. Billy Hamilton, again, I think a big reason is because Eloy's out. It'll be interesting to see who gets sent down once Adam Engel comes back. I'd imagine it's Hamilton. I don't really see much need for him then. So yeah, those two make it. And the significant guy who didn't make it because of them is probably Danny Mendick. He does not make the team. So yeah, I think that's interesting that they choose another outfielder and Jake Lamb, who's more of a corner infield guy, over the middle infield guy, and Danny Mendick. Jake Lamb, the Sox signed him to a major league contract the day after Eli was injured. He's a lefty bat who's played first and third, but he has been taking fly balls in left, so do not be surprised to see him out there in left for the Sox a little bit to try to make up for Eloy out there in left field. So I'm liking the roster where it's at. The depth is a little scary, but again, I think it's a lot of guys that you don't really know, like Collins, Mercedes, Jake Lamb. We really don't know what they got, so I think you got to give them this first month. I think I'm just still not I forget what the 162 game season is like, and that if you're bad for like 15 games like that last year, I was like, oh man, like that's it. That's it was a fourth of the season, where it's like that's nothing. If you're bad for 15 games, there's still a ton left in the season. So yeah, I like this team, but I think it's going to be shifted around a lot, especially once Ingo comes back, and then seeing how the bench guys do, like Collins, Mercedes, Lamb, and Billy Hamilton. So now, as I did say, I am recording this on Saturday night after the Sox second game. So, of course, we're going to go over the first two games of the season. Opening day, Thursday, April 1st, sorry. 9:05 start time. Giolito versus Dylan Bundy. And yeah, it was definitely a good game. Sox got off to a good start with a run in the second on a Luis Roberts scoring on a wild pitch. He doubled, he stole third, and then a wild pitch scored him home. Giolito looked very sharp. He struck out the side to begin the game, which was just awesome. Struck out Trout on a dirty changeup down and in, which was, that's Mike Trout, best pitcher in the game. Best player in the game. So he looked really good, and he ended up with 5 1/3 innings, on 87 pitches, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a home run. He looked very good. The hitting, definitely, I think, was, it's the first game, so I'm not going to say much, but a lot of strikeouts, not many walks. Definitely, they were swinging at a lot of off-speed stuff outside the zone, as Dylan Bundy had his curveball working for him. Bundy ended up 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a home run. As far as the game goes, so the Sox went up 1-0 in the second. Angels tied it 1-1 in the fourth. And then top fifth, tied at 1. Adam Eaton hits the first Sox home run of the year with a shot out to right field off Dylan Bundy. 2-run bomb, which made it 3-1 in the fifth. Then bottom of the fifth, Angels came right back and scored one, I believe, off a Max Stassi home run out to center. So that made it a 3-2 game. And then the Sox went scoreless for the rest of the game. Bottom of the 8th, Aaron Bummer in, and Nick Madrigal. I'm not sure what exact runners they had, but there was a man at first, and ground ball to Madrigal. It would have been a double play, and Madrigal fielded the ball and he threw it away. Tim Anderson had to come off the bag to catch the ball, and after that led to multiple runs being scored, and then with a man at third and one out, Albert Pujols had a chopper to third, and Moncada just had to make the play at first. So that gave the Angels a 4-3 lead going into the 9th inning. And then Raciel Iglesias, the newly acquired closer for the Angels, came in and set down the Sox 1-2-3. Larry Garcia, Luis Robert, Zach Collins. Giolito looked great. He definitely started to tail off a little towards the end. He was leaving a lot of stuff over the plate, losing a little control. But those first 3-4 innings, he looked dominant out there. And again, it's your first start of the season. He's facing a good offense. Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon, and even Ohtani. Those are 3 great hitters. So I don't think that was bad. Cody Hoyer came out of the pen. He went 1 2/3, 2 hits, a walk, and a K. He looked good. I'm not gonna. I mean, again, it's your first outing. It's not too big of a deal. He was definitely a little shaky on control, but again, he didn't give up any runs. He still did great. Aaron Bummer, he's the one who did give up the game in the 8th. Again, if Magical makes that play, I think Sox win this game. Bummer won 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, both unearned, a walk and a K. Again, he was definitely struggling a little bit with control, but if Magical makes that play, I think he gets out of that without letting up any runs, and the Sox win that game. And then Matt Foster came in to record 1 out, and he got the out. He came in for Bummer at the end there. So yeah, pitching, control was a little shaky, but again, they looked really good. We're still able to get outs, and that's all that matters. So good start from the pitching. The hitting definitely was okay. Tim Anderson went 1 for 4 with 2 Ks. Adam Eaton went 1 for 4, a homer and a K. Abreu went 1 for 4 with 2 Ks. Moncada went 2 for 3, a walk and a K. Grandal went 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Larry Garcia went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Luis Robert 1 for 4, strikeout, a stolen base, and his one hit was a double. Zach Collins went 0 for 4, and Nick Madrigal went 1 for 3. The team with runners in scoring position was 0 for 2, and they left 5 runners on base. So again, they just did not have much going for them on the offensive side, swinging at a lot of stuff outside the zone. And that was definitely a problem for them last year, and it proved to be in the first game here. So we'll see how they can improve on that. Again, I think if Magical makes that play in the 8th inning, I'm looking at this game with optimism, and I think the Sox win this game. But again, first game of the year, not a big deal. Giolito looked great. Bullpen looked good. So on to the second game we go. I have an 8:40 start time Friday, April 2nd. Dallas Keuchel versus Andrew Heaney. Battle of the lefties. Sox were undefeated against lefty starting pitching last year, and they continued that trend. Bottom of the first, Angels scored a run to go up 1-0 on a, I don't know if it wasn't necessarily an error, but a Trout single, but I believe a runner reached on an error that inning. So Angels go up 1-0. Top of the third, bases loaded for Jose Abreu, and MVP starts driving them in with a grand slam to right center to put the Sox up 4-1 and go in for the back-to-back MVPs starting early. Now going after that, top of the fourth, next inning, Sox up 4-1. They put a 3 spot on the board, and Adam Eaton single scores Vaughn, and a Yerman Mercedes single scores Yasmani Grandal and Adam Eaton. That puts the Sox up 7-1 but the Angels were not done heading off. Dallas Keuchel, after he calmed down after the first, bottom of the fourth, they put up 3 runs on an Albert Pujols 3-run bomb to make it a 7-4 ball game. Bottom of the fifth, 7-4. Keuchel still in. Anthony Rendon scores on an air, or hits I cannot talk. Hits a fly ball out to right field with 2 runners on base. Adam Eaton going towards the line just missed it. Like it was definitely a tough play. He was running over to the line. I believe he was shifted over towards center, and this was hit towards the right field foul line. And he was hustling over, but he like kind of did a half dive thingy, like slide almost, and it just went right over his glove, rolled to the fence, and 2 runners scored to make it a 7-6 ball game, and it was close. And then both teams went quiet. No one scored for 3 innings, but the Angels were all over Sox pitching. They were leaving a lot of runners on. There were a lot of intense at-bats. So we're heading into the 9th. 1-run ball game, 7-6. It's looking like an intense save for Hendricks, and the Sox said, no way. The Sox put up a 5 spot in the 9th inning. Tim Anderson starts it off with a solo homer to center field. Yasmani Grandal after Abreu reaches base, and Hamilton walks, doubles one into the gap to score 2 to make it 10-6. And then Yermin Mercedes, in his first career start, looking for his first career hit, gets his 5th hit of the game, a double to left field to score 2 to make it 12-6. Yermin Mercedes, first game, he was DHing, batting 8th, went 5 for 5 with a double, 4 singles, and 4 RBIs. But the Angels were not going away. Liam Hendricks in the 8th inning came in to get the last out of a jam. And so he came back out, White Sox debut. He came back out in the 9th, and it did not go very pretty for him. He struck out the first guy, got the second guy out. Dexter Fowler grounded out, but the Angels weren't going away. David Fletcher singled, beat out a ground ball to TA. Then Shohei Ohtani smashes one, makes it a 12-8 ball game. Then Mike Trout walked, and then Hendricks was done with that as he was on 30 pitches. He struck out Anthony Rendon, and that was the ball game. So the Sox win the second one, 12-8 to even the series at 1. Going to go over the pitchers first. Dallas Keuchel, 69 pitches thrown, 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and a strikeout. I didn't really get to watch much of the early innings, so I can't really say much on Keuchel's start, but I think he was leaving some stuff over the plate. But I mean, again, first inning, good offense. He's a lefty facing the Angels, who have Rendon, Fletcher, Pujols, Upton, Iglesias, Stassi, and the greatest player, Mike Trout, all righties. So it was a very tough start for Keuchel. And I mean, he kept him in the ballgame. Again, 6 runs, but only 3 were earned. So that Eaton fielding error really killed him, and right. Then Matt Foster came in 1 inning, struck out all 3 guys. And then Michael Kopech debut, 2 innings. He threw 2 innings on 33 pitches, so looking good. No hits, only base runner was a walk, and he struck out 3 of his 6 guys, because why not? Michael Kopech, a very good-looking start. Evan Marshall came in, threw 2/3 of an inning, just walked a guy, and then Hendricks finished it up with 1 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned, a walk, and 2 Ks, and a home run. He came in the 8th to get the clutch out with runners on, and then not trying to make excuses for him, but he threw the 9th inning with a 6-run lead, and like a lot of people say, closers do not do well with big leads. They're actually better in intense situations because, well, that's what they're meant for. So I don't think there's anything to be worried about with Hendricks. And I mean, again, the homer he let off was Ohtani, who's a very good hitter. Walked Trout, and there's nothing you can do there. It's Mike Trout. So the pitching looked a little rough with Keiko, but I really liked the bullpen performance, especially out of Matt Foster and Michael Kopech. Now the hitting, again, 12 hits and 12 runs and 13 hits. They laid it on today. Tim Anderson, 1 for 5, 1 for 5. Luis Robert, 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Jose Abreu, 2 for 4, grand slam, a walk, and a strikeout. Honestly, this may have been the only bad stat line. Yoan Moncada went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. Rough night for Yoan. I think I saw 2 of them. One, he went down on 3 pitches with a couple awful swings, chasing some stuff. And then his last at bat, he fought, and I believe it was a full count. He took a slider that was just outside the zone. It was not a strike, and they rung him up on it. Andrew Vaughn in his debut, batting fifth, playing left field, 0 for 3, but he did walk and had a strikeout. Then Billy Hamilton did pitch hit for him in the last inning, and he walked and ended up scoring. Oswani Grandal went 2 for 5 with the double. Adam Eaton went 1 for 4 with a walk and 2 Ks, and then the player of the game, Yermin Mercedes, DH and batting eighth, 5 for 5, 4 singles, a double, 4 RBIs. What a beast. Come on. Yermin Mercedes. Get this guy some playing time. And then Nick Madrigal, 1 for 5 with a K. So an all-out great performance from the offense, aside Yoan Moncada. But he did have a good game yesterday. So yeah, I liked it. They definitely cut down on the Ks besides Moncada. Bullpen was good. Keiko a little rough. Again, errors are going to cost you games. The only reason they lost yesterday because of an error, and then today it was 7-1. The Sox were up 7-1 after the 4th inning. And then they were up 7-6 going into the 9th. It didn't become a blowout until they put up a 5 spot in the 9th. So errors are gonna cost you games. So they need to clean up on that. And I think they will, as they know what it takes to win. And I think they're just that this is not representative of the team. So I think they'll clean up. So overall, good second game. Gotta clean up some stuff, but the offense looked great, which is what you like to see. And the Sox get a 12-8 win to make their record 1-1. Tomorrow, April 3rd, little preview. Saturday, April 3rd, start time at 8:07. Lance Lynn makes his debut against Alex Cobb, making his Angels debut. Should be a good game. Hopefully, Yerman's back out there. Maybe we get Jake Lamb out there. Who knows? Sox look to take the lead in the series, as it is a 4-game. So they don't win the series yet. And yeah, that will be the 3rd game tomorrow. So with that, thank you guys so much for joining me once again. The season is finally underway, and I could not be more excited. This is so much better than spring training. So yeah, it is going to be a great season, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys, putting out episodes, going over games. It's going to be fun. Once again, go give me a follow on Instagram at All Things White Sox, and at Twitter, I believe my @ is just at Things Sox. I will be putting out way more content now that we're in season. So it's going to be a very fun season, and it should be hopefully a division winner for the Sox. So again, thank you guys so much. I hope you had a good opening day. I hope you got to enjoy the Sox winner on Friday night. And have a good next 2 weeks when I'll see you for the next episode. And go Sox.